Summer might be the season of road trips and open windows, but it's also a real stress test for your car and your body. High temperatures can turn small mistakes into costly repairs, or worse, serious safety risks. In this video, I've gathered 7 essential tips that will help you drive smarter, safer, and cooler when the sun is blazing. From overheating engines to the right way to use your AC, and even one tip that could literally save a life, let's dive in. Tip number 1. Don't drive into a puddle after heavy braking. This tip is mostly for beginners, but I believe it's important to remind everyone, even experienced drivers, never drive through a puddle or water right after intense braking. Imagine this. You've been driving actively, working the pedals, gas, brake, or perhaps descending a hill and applying heavy pressure on the brake pedal. As a result, your brake discs and pads get extremely hot, and then you hit a deep puddle. What happens? The brake pads, no big deal. They're made of soft friction material and are designed to handle some moisture. But the brake discs are a different story. They can heat up to hundreds of degrees Celsius during braking. If they suddenly come into contact with cold water, they experience a thermal shock. In the worst case scenario, the disc can crack. In a milder case, it warps. And if your brake disc is warped, you'll notice it every time you brake. Your steering wheel will shake and vibrate left, right, constantly. It's not just annoying, it's dangerous. So, what should you do? Simple. Drive calmly. No need to push it. If there's a descent ahead, use engine braking. Driving a manual? Shift down early and let the engine control your speed. Automatic? Switch to manual mode, the one with the plus-minus signs, and downshift gradually. This way, you'll save your brakes from overheating and protect your brake discs from damage. Anyone who lives in mountainous regions or regularly drives through winding roads knows this rule well. But as practice shows, it's always worth repeating. Tip number 2, don't wash a car that's been baking in the sun. If your car has been sitting under direct sunlight for a long time, do not wash it immediately with cold water. And especially, don't take it to a car wash in the middle of a hot day. Doing so can seriously damage the paintwork, especially if your car is new or you take pride in keeping it in top condition. Here's why. Under the sun, your car's body, especially if it's a dark color like black, navy blue, or dark green, can easily heat up to 60 to 70 degrees Celsius or more. Now imagine grabbing a hose with cold well water, around 12 to 18 degrees Celsius, and spraying it all over that hot surface. That's a 40 to 50 degrees Celsius temperature shock. The result? The clear coat and paint can start to crack. Maybe not right away, but if you're observant, over time you'll start to notice fine spiderweb-like cracks, tiny fractures in the clear coat. And if your car is in otherwise great condition, that's not just frustrating, it's heartbreaking. So what should you do? Should you just stop washing your car altogether? Of course not. But you should follow a few simple rules. If you're heading to a car wash, park your car in the shade for at least 15 minutes beforehand. Let the body cool down before the water hits it. If you're at home or the cottage, pull the car under a tree, wait a bit, and then feel free to wash it, even with cold water. It won't hurt the paint if the body is no longer scorching hot. Take a few extra minutes to let your car cool off, and you'll protect the paint, avoid micro cracks, and keep it looking flawless for years to come. Tip number 3, don't turn on the heater when your engine is overheating. It won't save you. This tip is widely known. Both beginners and experienced drivers have probably heard it. But let's be honest, very few people understand the full picture. You've probably come across this life hack before. If your engine starts to overheat, just roll down the windows, turn the heater to maximum, crank the fan, and let the hot air blow into the cabin and outside. That'll help you make it to a service center. Let me be clear, that's complete nonsense. Taking this advice might just lead you to a blown engine and a hefty repair bill. Why doesn't it work? If your coolant temperature gauge starts creeping into the red, that's already a serious warning sign. Your cooling system is failing. Unless you're driving through a desert in plus 50 degrees Celsius heat, even then, this is not normal. Common causes of overheating include a faulty thermostat, a broken radiator fan, air pockets in the cooling system, or low coolant level. Yes, turning on the heater might slightly reduce the temperature for a moment, but if the needle is already in the red zone, you're minutes away from a boilover. At that point, the heater won't help. It's too late. What should you actually do? 1. Don't panic. 2. Safely pull over as soon as you can. 3. Let the engine run for a few seconds if your brakes are hydraulic, then shut it off immediately. 4. Open the hood to let the heat escape and allow the engine to cool naturally. Important: never, under any circumstances, open the coolant reservoir cap or radiator cap while the engine is hot. The system is under high pressure and opening it can send boiling liquid flying in your face. It's dangerous and pointless. What if I still turn on the heater? Sure, it might buy you a minute or two, but it's not a solution. It's a delay before disaster. If you're not careful, the engine will boil over, the coolant will erupt from the radiator, and you'll be facing a seized engine and a repair bill that could have been easily avoided. If the engine is overheating, stop immediately. Don't believe in the myth of the life-saving heater. Turn off the engine, pull over, cool down, and fix the root cause. That's the only way to protect your engine and your wallet. Tip number 4, don't shut off the engine while the radiator fan is still running. In hot weather, and especially after fast or aggressive driving, you may have noticed this. You park your car, stop, and hear a humming noise from under the hood. That's the radiator fan kicking in. And here's the key. Don't rush to turn off the engine. Instead, open a window, sit quietly for a few seconds and listen. If the fan is running, let it do its job. Usually 30 to 40 seconds is enough for it to shut off on its own. Only after that should you turn off the ignition and stop the engine. Why is this important? If you kill the engine immediately, the coolant stops circulating. The water pump no longer pushes it through the system. Meanwhile, the engine is still hot, especially when it's 30 to 35 degrees Celsius outside. Now the engine has to cool itself only through the surrounding air, which is slow and inefficient. But if you let the engine run while the fan is working, coolant keeps circulating through the system, the fan keeps cooling the radiator, and the engine temperature drops much faster and safer. What if I already turned the engine off and the fan kicked in afterward? It happens. When it does, I simply start the engine again. Let the fan finish its cycle and only then shut it off. Yes, it may seem like a small hassle, but if you plan on keeping your car for more than just a couple of years, this simple habit can help you avoid overheating issues and delay major engine repairs. So if you didn't know, now you do. And if you've already been doing this, share your experience in the comments. Tip number 5, never coast in neutral, ever. This is one of those tips that very few drivers actually know, and even experienced ones often don't fully understand why it's a bad idea to shift into neutral while coasting, whether you're going downhill or just rolling on a flat road. Sure, it sounds logical. Shift to neutral. The car rolls more freely, maybe even saves fuel, right? Wrong. Completely wrong. Why? Let's skip the obvious safety issues like reduced control on descents or delayed response in emergencies. Let's talk real mechanics. If you understand how an internal combustion engine works, you know this. When you're coasting in gear with your foot off the gas, the engine goes into fuel cutoff mode. It uses zero fuel. But when you're in neutral, the engine idles as usual and burns fuel. So forget the idea of fuel savings. It's actually the opposite. But the real problem is what it does to your car mechanically. Here are 3 major reasons why you should never coast in neutral. Reason 1, the water pump, coolant circulation. Your water pump, which keeps coolant flowing through the engine, operates based on engine RPM. The higher the RPM, the better the coolant circulation, and the better your engine stays cool. When you're coasting in neutral, the RPM drops to idle, around 1000 RPM, which means the water pump slows down. Coolant flow weakens and your engine, like especially in summer heat, can start to overheat. So neutral plus hot weather equals potential overheating. Reason 2, clutch wear, manual transmission. Driving a manual? This one's for you. When you coast in neutral at high speed and then shift back into gear, you create a big mismatch in rotational speeds. Your engine is idling at 1000 RPM. Your wheels are spinning fast enough to drive the clutch at 3000 plus RPM. When you re-engage the gear, the clutch has to match those speeds through slippage, which causes overheating, accelerated wear on the clutch disc, and eventually a costly clutch replacement. And yes, this is even worse in hot weather. Reason 3, automatic transmissions and CVTs. If you think it's okay to coast in neutral with an automatic, think again. Most modern automatics have a transmission oil cooler built into the main radiator. But when you're in neutral, engine RPM drops, the water pump slows, and transmission fluid cooling becomes less effective, especially during long downhill stretches in summer. This can lead to localized overheating, reduced transmission life, and even serious failure. Plus, neutral in an automatic is a service mode. It's designed for use on a car wash or during towing. It's not meant to be touched during normal driving. Coasting in neutral means it's not fuel efficient, it's not safe, and it's mechanically harmful. The right way is to use engine braking. On a manual, downshift gradually. On an automatic, switch to manual mode and do the same. This approach protects your engine's cooling, your clutch, and your transmission. If you didn't know this before, now you do. And if you did know, drop a comment. Do you use engine braking in your everyday driving? Tip number 6, don't blast the air conditioner at full power right away. Turning on the air conditioner is the most obvious way to deal with summer heat. but its effectiveness depends on the condition of your cooling system. So be sure to get it checked in spring, ideally in May, before the heat hits. What to do after your car's been sitting in the sun? In summer, the inside of a parked car can get extremely hot, sometimes over 60 to 70 degrees Celsius. So before you even think about the air conditioner, open the windows and let the hot air escape. Then, and only then, turn on the air conditioner, but not at minimum temperature right away. Why? A sudden temperature drop can shock your body and weaken your immune system. Even worse, it can cause your windshield to develop micro cracks due to uneven cooling of the glass surface. So what's the smart approach? Studies suggest the ideal cabin temperature for driving comfort is between 22 to 24 degrees Celsius. Start high and lower the temperature gradually. Cool the cabin by about 5 degrees Celsius. Wait a few minutes, then lower it again by another 5 degrees Celsius, and so on. This gentle approach is not only safer for your body, it's better for your car too. Bonus tip: turn off the air conditioner before shutting down the engine. When returning to your parking spot, turn off the air conditioner first, then shut off the engine after a minute or so. Why? This helps reduce pressure buildup in the air conditioner system and prevents potential damage to components like the compressor and hoses. Use your air conditioning wisely, like it'll keep you cool, healthy, and help your vehicle last longer. Tip number 7. Never leave children or pets in a closed car. This isn't just a suggestion, it's a matter of life and death. On a hot day, the inside of a parked car can quickly reach 60 degrees Celsius. If the car is dark colored and sitting in direct sunlight, the temperature can soar to 90 to 100 degrees Celsius. Surfaces like black seats, dashboards, and door panels heat up the fastest, turning into scorching hot plates. For a child or pet left in such an environment, even for just 5 to 10 minutes, this can lead to heat stroke, unconsciousness, or even death. Children overheat much faster than adults, and animals can't cool their bodies efficiently like humans can. Simple rule to remember: if you leave the car, take everyone with you, always. Even if it's just a quick stop at the store, it's better to spend an extra 30 seconds than to regret it for the rest of your life. Reality check: at just 30 degrees Celsius outside, the interior of a car can reach 50 degrees Celsius in 10 minutes. In 20 minutes, it can hit 60 degrees Celsius plus or worse. Don't rely on cracked windows or the idea that you'll be just a minute. Heat builds up in seconds, and no amount of ventilation will prevent it. Protect those who depend on you. Safety always comes before convenience. Summer driving isn't just about comfort, it's about awareness and responsibility. By following these simple but crucial tips, you will protect your engine and transmission, avoid unnecessary wear and repairs, keep yourself and your passengers safe, and make your summer journeys much more enjoyable. And above all, remember, no matter how short the stop, never leave children or pets in the car. Heat can be deadly in minutes. If you found these tips useful, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and let me know in the comments. Which of these tips was new for you? Or maybe you've got your own summer driving secret. Stay cool, drive smart, and see you on the road.